Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And if it's your first time here, I'm Janetta, an author who loves to draw. On my channel, I focus on combining storytelling with art. If that's something you're interested in, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let's get to it.
SSMD, so it begins. Chapter 9. I'll Fly Away. Eva. I was amazed how fast my heartache returned. For me to cry over a relationship that changed me in ways I didn't like was ridiculous. Truthfully, I wouldn't go back to Mike for all the wealth in the world. Don't get me wrong, Mike was a good guy. He just wasn't good for me. Considering shacking may not have the same experience I had with shacking, but I could give her some things to consider before she decides. I plucked up a Kleenex, dried my eyes, and wiped my nose. Then I posted, Dear Considering Shacking, I just want to point out to you that you said you want to be married. Keep that in mind, then picture yourself moving in with your boyfriend. Are you as happy as you would be if you two were married first? Or are you disappointed? Does it feel a bit like settling? Picture yourself settling into a routine after the first year. Do you think he will be ready to marry you? Or will he be happy with you two continuing to live together? Do you know what has to happen in your relationship for him to be ready to marry you? How many years are you willing to wait for him to decide? Or will you be happy simply shacking? Picture yourself at family and other social events the first year and imagine yourself introducing him. Now imagine yourself at the same events year after year, hearing the question over and over that will remind you of what you really wanted in the first place. A question that is running through your mind as well. When are you two getting married? After imagining all this, ask yourself, would you be happy? If the answer is yes, then go for it. If not, avoid it like the plague. Sincerely, the SSMD advisor. I left it at that and hoped she'd make the right decision for herself. I placed a quick call to Sharon, wanting to make sure she was okay, but she didn't answer. Philip. Philip was home with the kids eating pizza. His mother had dropped them off after school. Sharon had called as promised and spoke only to the children. He suspected she was staying over Eva's, but he wasn't sure. Leah had been calling non-stop all day, but he ignored her calls because he just wanted time to figure out just what to say to her. Or better yet, how to tell her it was over. He wanted his marriage to work, and regret settled on his shoulders like a heavy stone. By the time the kids were in bed, he was emotionally exhausted. Just keeping up the charade that everything was fine while worrying whether things would ever be fine again had drained him completely. He showered and dressed for bed. He thought about calling Sharon, but he knew she wouldn't answer. Picking up his cell phone, he texted her, I will always regret hurting you. Love you, P. Sharon. Sharon's cell phone was turned off in her purse. She looked out the plane window and thought about her kids. They'll be fine, she told herself. I'll be back in a few days, and when I return, I'll be ready to deal with this mess. Chapter 10. Self-Sabotage. Philip. Philip hadn't heard from Sharon in 3 days. She called the kids directly via Sienna's cell phone every night. They thought she was away at a conference. Running the house with her was a nightmare. The kids had some type of activity every day, and he was running from one end of the city to the next. He had to arrange dinner every night, and to his amazement, the kids were getting tired of fast food. He had to admit that he was too. On top of that, he hadn't slept much since she left. Leah. Leah hadn't heard from Sharon or, more importantly, Philip in 3 days, and she was tired of waiting. Early Friday morning, she was at their door and ringing their bell. When she heard footsteps approaching the door, she had a moment of doubt. Was she doing the right thing? The door swung open. Aunt Leah! 8-year-old PJ ran into her arms. As Leah hugged PJ, the guilt she'd been pushing off washed over her. She loved both PJ and Sienna as if they were her own and had been avoiding them since she and Philip started their affair. I missed you. PJ gave her a squeeze. Sienna arrived at the door. Sheesh, PJ. Let Aunt Leah get some air. PJ let go reluctantly and stepped aside. Sienna smiled and stepped in for a quick hug. Hi, Aunt Leah. She stepped aside to allow Leah to enter. Did Mom ask you to check on us while she's gone? Sienna asked her. She did, Leah lied, surprised that Sharon wasn't there. She watched as Sienna and PJ grabbed their book bags. Bye, Aunt Leah. We have to hurry. Dad signed us up to catch the school bus while Mom is away. Today is our first day on, Sienna said as they rushed out the door and down the walkway. Bye, Dad, PJ called. Leah turned around when Philip responded from behind her. Bye. He reached over her head and closed the door. I suppose you want to talk. Philip looked tired, worn, and worried. Leah knew it had everything to do with him and Sharon and little to do with her. In fact, nothing about him said he wanted to see her. Actually, I don't think there's anything more for us to say. She ignored the relief that flashed across his face. She turned, opened the door, and walked out. Her anger once again turned on herself. She thought, what the hell was I thinking? I knew better. I deserved better. Eva. When my doorbell rang, I was just logging in for the day. I was really enjoying being the SSMD advisor. I was excited about some of the ideas I had around growing the business. I checked through the peephole and quickly opened the door. Leah, is everything all right? She was crying. She stepped aside before saying, It's not, but it's my own fault, Leah. I'm sick of sabotaging my own life. I was hoping we could talk. I was about to shut the door when I looked up and saw a car pull up behind Leah's. To my horror, it was Mike and Rachel. I shut the door quickly before either of them could see me. I moved quickly to the window and peeked through the blinds. Rachel got out the car and greeted the man she met on Monday, and they walked into the house next door. Mike sat in the car and waited. I knew he had recognized Leah's car from her vanity plates. He got out of his car and looked around. I would have to keep Leah inside until Mike and Rachel left.
Hope you enjoyed today's story. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Until next time, be and stay blessed.